On a rugby pitch, and there is Yeston Harris, that late change in the Welsh side for the injured Sonny Parker. Rhys Williams, Mark Taylor, Tom Shanklin and Stephen Jones come into the back line as well. Well, the conditions here, I have to say, are rather Welsh. It's been hammering down with rain all day. The motorcycling at Phillip Island, the Grand Prix today, the rain seems to have come up from there. Tonga have made a late, frantic change at half-back. Pierre Holla moves from full-back to out-half. Va'anuku comes off the bench to full-back. So that's 5 changes from the side that lost to Italy. And inspirational captain Inoki Afeaki is out with a knee injury. There is that late change in the Welsh team, of course, just to confirm. And Alex Popham is at number 8 with Colin Jarvis on the open side. I wonder who'll be doing the kicking today. Will it be Yeston Harris 100% against Canada, or will it be Stephen Jones? And now the Sippy tie, the Tongan war dance. At least the rain, Jimmy Salmon, has eased off here. We're not quite sure about that late change in the Tongan team, whether it's tactical or a full muscle in the warm-up or whatever.
Yes, indeed. It'll be interesting to see as we look down the list of reserves for both sides. And I think the interesting thing is that Wales have chosen Jarvis, an open side flanker. I think that reflects the physicality they're expecting in this game. As the lads in the studio were saying, that the Tongans aren't afraid to tackle. And again, as they were saying, the scrummage is very important. I know that that's where Wales really want to get some ascendancy early on in this game. So the tight 5 for Wales have got to do a super job there and also secure their ball. Once that's done, retain it.
And the referee for this match, very experienced official, is Paul Honus, his 6th year as a professional referee. 6 Nations experience, including Ireland against England in 2001 at Lansdowne Road. I remember that one. It's the Tongans in white in their change strip. Normally would play in red, who kick off, and they have 4 or 5 players out there in the team who are carrying injuries into the game. Number 6 there, Fenekito, is actually one of them who dislocated his finger in the match against Italy.
Well, not a clean take by Wales, rather fortuitous to get away with that one. But a chance to clear their lines, organise themselves. They know it's going to be their line out and work out exactly how they're going to approach this game. I think we should add that there's not much wind to speak of. I know it's been a rainy day, but the wind is certainly not strong at all.
Well, having been in steamy Townsville with David Soule yesterday, and a 3.5-hour flight to Canberra today, it's like arriving on a different planet. It was about 20 degrees warmer, totally different climatic conditions up there. As Wales try to maul, of course, their big game you would think would come against Italy. Tonga, the third best of the South Sea Islanders. They normally lose to Fiji and Samoa. So Wales should win this one reasonably comfortably, but the Tongans did put up a good fight against the Italian side, losing only 36 points to 12.
Scratch and hold. Engage.
Salilo Martins of the Celtic Warriors at scrum half for Tonga knows, well, delaying, knows a lot of his opponents. 6 Celtic Warriors in the Welsh team. Nice haircut. Cooper out to Stephen Jones, has a little look up and see, and one of those end-over-end kicks that are becoming more and more fashionable in the game these days, and a good start for Stephen Jones.
Yes, territorial gain for Wales. They won't be happy with their first line out, but they caught and drove but didn't actually get the ball out. See if they can disrupt the Tongan line out. Mayasi going to be throwing the ball in. Can they organise themselves?
Mayasi, who plays his rugby in Cornwall, Penzance.
Work off the touch judge, please. Here's your mark. Give us a half-metre red in the middle. Hold.
Paul Honus has been very stringent in the opening 5 minutes. Mayasi, and that's a good throw and a good take. Here's Salilo Martins, and he's tackled by Jarvis. Pick up and drive by Finikitau. Martins just creating a little bit of room for himself. And taken by Shanklin. Full back, it's Williams. Shanklin again. Strong man. Maybe hasn't got searing pace, but he has got strength. Cooper, Stephen Jones, Yeston Harris. What a game he had against Canada. That's Mark Taylor, the Lion in the centre. Cleared out by Popham and Cooper. Again, they try to move it through the midfield, and this time it's Robert Sidoli, who's got Italian qualifications, and it's intercepted by Cooper, but I think that's going to be... Well, hands were used. I was going to say offside, but hands were used initially.
Yes, Tonga are going to keep their discipline, and I think Wales will have a go at goal here. It looks like Stephen Jones is going to answer your question. It's going to be he that takes the kicks of goal. Interesting that Shanklin's playing on the right wing. Mark Jones is the other winger playing on the left, and as we see the penalty, hands over the top of the ruck. And but they've got Shanklin on the right wing and Mark Jones on the left, which is an interesting shout because they're listed the other way around, and Mark Jones played right wing last weekend against Canada. But Stephen Jones getting into the tournament, and hopefully he can start with 3 points on the board and settle the Welsh team down.
Stephen Jones, the former captain of Wales, with an excellent start. So between them, Harris and Jones have made quite an impact on this tournament with the boot so far. Wales 3, Tonga 0.
Wales lead 3-0.
Yes, the pouring rain that so destroyed the 150 and 125 and 250 races at Phillip Island has crept here to Canberra today, and now it's eased off as it did for the 500 race, so hopefully we'll get their weather, which means it shouldn't be wet for the rest of the match. Thank you, Michael Fish.
Hands off, White.
Jones, and again he's looked for that little end-over-end kick into the space down this near side, and it's picked up by that late replacement fullback Sila Vaianuku, and a fine boot from him.
It certainly was a very fine boot from him. He's even chased it up as well. That's a great gain from Tonga. And can they spoil the Welsh line-out on this occasion? Certainly in the first line-out they had Gareth Llewellyn in the middle, but it's a short line-out, they've won it well.
From the back now, White, from the back now. Where you go, Sivan?
Cooper. Looking very relaxed underneath the ball there was Fanua. He took it well. Salilo Martins. Holla. Going to midfield. And that's the big centre, number 12, John Payne. This time using the back row. Afiaki, Stanley Afiaki. Set of brothers in this Tongan outfit. And Salilo Martins with a probing little kick. My goodness. That is accurate.
The good thing is that Wales forced him to kick. Their first up tackling has been excellent so far. They've got to maintain that, frustrate them. But Martins is left-footed and used it to good effect there. Nothing Shanklin could do running back. Although when Gareth Cooper puts up the high ball, I'd like to see Shanklin compete for the ball in the air, not wait for Tuifua to collect it.
White, come across, please.
Nathan Davis of the Celtic Warriors.
Goal line forward, so my arm comes down.
His Rugby World Cup debut.
Hold!
This time they go to the tail.
Hold! Advantage.
Logan Rise, Sidoli once
Good.
more.
Up 10. No. Number 1. Back here.
The
He's
line
come up
out
early.
again. Man
Coming in before
penalised
the line, it
is
was over.
Kisi
In the 10
Pulu,
metres.
the loose head.
Just do on the 15. That's it there. That's it. Yep. Good discipline there, guys, to hold the goal line. Yeah, thank you.
He's running with a leap, isn't he?
Well, he's missed touch, and it's taken by Tuifua.
Right time, leave it red! Last feet, 7.
Martins to Holla. And trying to
Back,
charge
back.
through the middle of that
Last feet now, red.
Welsh defence with the big back row forwards. Holla, John Payne, he's tackled by Popham.
Hands out, 2!
Hands away, says the referee, and Salilo Martins gets it to Holla. There's a Tongan
On your
down
feet,
injured. That's a
White.
good
Good
tackle
work.
by Yeston Thomas, the loose head.
Off 8. Last
Tongans
feet,
have made a
5.
reasonable start here,
Up
as
on
indeed
red,
did
that is
Canada
right. Ball's out.
against the Welsh.
That is White.
Pick up by Mayasi.
Cross forward, 5 red.
Not forward by Sidoli. Robert Sidoli, the second row forward for Wales, who used to play for the Ironman club and whose father Primo owned the Busy Bee fish and chip shop
I'm out.
in his hometown,
Is that a back or a
and was asked to play for Italy, or if he would be prepared to play for Italy, but decided that he wanted to represent the country of his birth.
Can you tell by that tattoo who's done? I think it might be Afiaki. I'm not sure, but certainly Wales under pressure there, and Stephen Jones didn't help by not finding touch from the penalty kick. He's got to find his touches. He's got to get his forwards going forward and get into these set pieces, which they can control.
Tavita Tuifua,
Over here,
who
guys.
plays his club rugby in Auckland, was the man who was injured.
Come forward, red, crouch and hold. Engage. Settle.
Martins, the pick up at number 8 by Ben Hur Cavallo. Here's Martins, and coming into the line as the replacement, fullback Vayaneku. A little bit of incision from the Tongans,
Wait.
and they're getting a penalty which Salilo Martins wants to take quickly. But it's a little bit like the Canadian match all over again. The first 15 minutes or so, it took the Welsh quite a long time to settle into the match and dominate the opposition.
Indeed, and Tonga will be very encouraged by the ability to break through the Welsh defensive line. The penalty was given for throwing the ball into touch, which you're not allowed to do. Great line by Anuku, and then good inside. I was on again inside. There was Afiaki inside as well, but there's that hand that threw the ball deliberately into touch. And I thought it should be a penalty 15 yards in, rather than where the player actually handed in. I thought it was 15 yards in, but I'll get into my law book and come back to you on that one.
Ring Clive Norling, he'll tell you. Pierre Holla, who has played out half many times before for Tonga and landed 44 points against Korea in the final repechage match. 17 conversions from 17. You could See the rain still falling steadily here in Canberra. Holla looking extremely focused. And it's nicely struck too. Well, excellent. Tonga tying things up here. A penalty from Stephen Jones and one from Pierre Holla.
Well, that's a lesson to Wales. Don't give away any penalties, because Holla's going to punish you. Jarvis, the captain, playing open side today. The decision making to be done, leadership, bit of presence.
Yeah, he had so many kicks in that game against Korea, Holla, that the ball boys ran out of sand, and he had to drop kick the last couple, which he was also successful with. Play on to the referee, no knock forward as Popham goes to ground and Cooper waits. That's Yeston Harris in the standoff position.
Come out, White. Come out.
Wearing 12, here's Cooper. Has a look down the blind side, decides to go open. Big numbers of Tongan defenders there, though. No way through for the Welsh at the moment. Now Stephen Jones. Little mismove in the centre. They know that Yeston Harris is a danger man. He did well to stay on his feet. And there's Stephen Jones. He's built like a flanker, the out half. Welsh ball. Cooper looking to snipe and dart. Needed a player in support on his shoulder. Gets one now, and driving for that line is Gethin Jenkins, the tight head forward. This is better from Wales. Support from Jarvis.
Last week, Knight.
Only 10 metres out now, the Welsh. Good Tongan defending though. Again, there's plenty of white shirts out wide. Yeston Harris forced to cut inside. Rhys Williams waits. Stephen Jones. Jarvis. Better from Wales. Good handling in these wet conditions. Players lining up to the right. Wales getting the advantage. And number 8 penalised, lying on the ball. Ben-Hur Kivalu going in there like Charlton Heston. And surely 3 points for Wales.
Well, a pity that didn't go one more phase. It was super play by Wales. They stayed patient. They retained the ball. I'd just like to see Paul Hens, the referee, allow that play to go on, because Wales were getting very 5 yards out from the line, and one more ruck might have done it for them. But anyway, it's an opportunity for Jones to restore the lead pretty quickly as the captain Jarvis going in. Just turns there, and plenty of Welsh numbers there. Didn't quite come back.
3 points to the boot of Stephen Jones. What was quite important there for the Welsh confidence as well was how many phases of play that they went through without making an error, because the conditions are very slippery out there. And as the Fijians were complaining about the other night after their game with the USA, these new Rugby World Cup balls have a fine silicon film on them, which makes them quite slippery on a dry day. So that's good technique from the Welsh forwards and backs. Holla with the restart. Be a little bit too deep there. Sidoli takes it.
On White.
Cooper. Back to Yeston Harris. That's the problem there for Vayanuku, but he didn't knock it forward. He only has launched that one. Rhys Williams back. Well taken by Rhys Williams. Never easy when the ball's coming over your shoulder, especially when it's wet. Rhys Williams, very experienced player now, 30 caps for his country, the Cardiff Blue. Has played several on the wing, but more at fullback, a more familiar position for him. He's bulked up too in recent years. He used to be very slightly built figure indeed.
Well, 2 rather wayward kicks, but Williams will be very happy with that. There wasn't much pressure on him, and that's irrelevant on a night such as this. You want the first one safely in the breadbasket. He's done that and also returned it with interest, so a good confidence builder for the man at the back.
Llewellyn in the second row for Wales, 35 years of age now, over 80 caps for his country, Wales' most cap forward.
Stop the watch. I'll do 2 of these scrum halves. I want teams first, and I want a good get, please. On this right.
Again, the referee being very pernickety. I think the watch stopped while he spoke to the Welsh forwards. Up went Llewellyn.
Number 7, scrum half, into the line open and go for the ball.
And you heard it clearly there from Paul Honus. Number 7 penalised, that's Stanley Afiaki.
I asked who the receiver was, they pointed to you. You entered the line and didn't go for the ball. 10 metres, please.
Entering the line out, not going for the ball.
Well, on a day like this, discipline is really, really important. At the moment, the Tongans are not coming to the party on that front, and they're enabling Wales to get these penalties and relieve any pressure that might come upon them. And Mr. Honus is being very, very strict on all matters here tonight. So Wales is going to be patient and be whiter than white.
No, you're going to stand here,
I think it was
inside the
a
five.
cup of cocoa and read the law book
Can't move.
once again for Mr. Honus last night.
Same conditions
His
apply.
preferred
No.
bedtime reading, I think, because he's applied every law in the book so far. And climbing at the tail for Wales is David Jones. Lock ball. Driven on by Thomas. It's not good ball though for Stephen Jones. The Tongan defenders were up very quickly indeed. Rain continues to fall here in Canberra again. It's good first up tackling. This time it was Holla, the out half, but not releasing the ball, and the penalty goes to Tonga. So that's what happens when you keep the pressure on, and the man who is penalised is Mark Jones.
And that's what happens when you get isolated, and you've got to have 2 or 3 guys around you. You go to ground, the referees will be very strict, and as Mark was saying, Mr. Honus is particularly strict, so you just don't need to give away penalties like that.
Here we see the infringement. Mark Jones tried desperately to get to his feet, and Honus is definitely being very harsh out there.
Well, he wasn't held. The other thing that Mark Jones might be saying to himself, or saying to the referee.
And maybe not allowed to get to his feet either. This is Payne. In behind him is Fenakita. Knocked forward by a red hand.
By white red. Red 8, sorry. Red 8.
Alex
Cross
Popham
forward.
penalised. Talking of red hand, Phil Mack, the Ulster fitness coach, will be arriving at this stadium very shortly to take over as the fitness coach to the ACT Brumbies, who play their rugby in this ground. A ground that we're told is extremely good drainage, so the deluge today shouldn't have too much effect out there. The drive forward by Kivalu.
Roll out 6. Lay on. Lay on. Ruck time, leave it.
Held there by Fenakita. It's Prulu, the loose head, who tries to get the ball back, and he does for Holla. Holla tries to go inside Stephen Jones, and now it's Lavaka. Chance here perhaps, if they could get the ball wide. Oh, if the pass had been precise, you know. If the pass had been precise, Tuifua could have been in the corner, because he's very quick.
They got in behind, didn't they? Good movement by Tonga. Good hands, good lines of running. Slip tackle there, just behind him. Shanklin would have done well to get back.
Well, Shanklin had moved a yard or two infield, and there was an avenue of grass down that blind side. And Tuifua may well have scampered down it and in. Usai Latu is the player injured, who actually made his debut against Wales.
I'm watching. Yeah.
Well, there you are. Tonga have it on territory in this first 17 minutes as we approach the end of the first quarter of this match. Tongans love their rugby, of course. Sovereign King Tupou IV is a big rugby fan who played at Newington College in Sydney and has been known to involve himself in the coaching. Oh, that's a knock forward by Tuifua.
Well, Stephen Jones got away with that one. Second one he's missed from a penalty, but he's been rather fortuitous there. Well scrum. Let's see what options they take on this occasion. No blindside to work with. That's definitely gone forward. Tuifua.
Tuifua, who scored one of the
Steady.
Tonga tries against Italy.
Over the mark, guys. Over here. Wait for the call, crouch and hold.
Paul Honus will need a few throat lozenges by the end of this game.
Well, he did Martins for not putting it in straight away, and that time he let Cooper get it sorted. So he's got to be consistent, Honus.
Come on, fellas. Yes, I'm watching him. Watch his stays.
Tongans are not big fans of scrummaging. Although Jim Love might have made a difference in that department, the former second rower. I think you played against Jimmy.
Well, we're on the same park at certain stages.
Yeah. You never were near the second rows, did you? Yeah, a bit of a delay from Cooper that he's got away with. Oh, that's a very scruffy ball for Wales. Stephen Jones running into trouble. Holla, good tackler, good defensive out half. Gareth Cooper gets it to Yeston Harris, a creator of magic against Canada. Rhys Williams is the man outside. The man is Jones, and Jones is tackled a metre short. Was it knocked forward there? Referee Honas says play on. Advantage is going to Wales. There was a knock forward from a white hand, but that's Wales' first real created opportunity in this match, and Mark Jones was so close to getting in.
And well played, Rhys Williams came into the line with real pace. There's Yeston Harris, a wide ball, and he's coming in with real gas. Ball in two hands, got options. And Mark Jones, I thought he was away, but it's a desperate tackle that just scrags him down a yard from the line. But anyway, it's the Welsh put in. They can turn hopefully some pressure into points.
It was Fanua who made the tackle, his opposite number. Despairing one, desperate one it was. Now let's see how strong this Tongan scrummage really is. Wales will want to get the squeeze on here. Quicker feet this time from Cooper. Top of at number 8.
White over here.
Standing up in the scrum is what Mr. Honas is saying. Now, decision time, Colin Jarvis. Kicking into touch, scrum again. I think it's called for the scrum again. Good option by Colin Jarvis. Same pressure again, please, front 5. Let's really put these guys under pressure now.
No call, stand up. No call, crouch and hold.
Horrid time for the Tongans. They like to play calypso rugby. This is not a calypso night. Better scrummage though as they try to wheel, picked up by Popham. Good drive by Popham. Where's the support though? Colin Jarvis was there very slowly indeed. Gareth Cooper gets it out to Stephen Jones, and on the inside it was Mark Taylor. Not forward though.
Pity, great pity. Now I think they were probably going for a bit of a pushover from the scrum, but Popham picked it up, but he got very lonely. And this is just that one pass inside of Jones. Good tackle by Martin to scrum half. But now can Wales put the Tongan scrum under pressure and make it really difficult for them to get out of their 22. That's what you've got to do, make it really hard for them to clear their lines.
Collapsing on this loose head side, and you feel this Tongan scrummage is going to be under huge amount of pressure all night.
Please, on the back. Come forward, Reed, you're too far away from Mark.
Just keep an eye on Kisi Pulu on this, on the loose head side for Tonga. It seems to be under strain from Gethin Jenkins. Well, the whole front row's under pressure. Look at that, Sleelo Martins has to hurry to get it back to Holla.
Last feet here, Reed. Last feet. Ball's out.
Ball was out, says the referee, so that's fine. It was Sidoli, I think, who did well there for Wales. The Anuka.
Well, they got it away eventually, but it was a bit of a struggle, and certainly Wales will be very confident to disrupt that Tongan scrum as much as possible, because the longer the game goes on, the props, Labaka and Pulu, are not going to be too keen to go down too much.
We have word that Tutai Kefu, the Australian number 8, of course, who is out of the Wallaby World Cup side with injury, is keen to coach Tonga after he finishes his professional career in Japan. The man who moved to Brisbane at the age of 4.
I thought the Tongans didn't have any money, but that might be another issue for Kefu to negotiate. Well, that's messy ball, isn't it, for Tonga? And they just get it away. Justin Thomas getting a bit of treatment.
Well, while he gets treatment, let me remind you that following this match from 10:45 on ITV1, Ireland's World Cup campaign continues. They're taking on Namibia in Sydney. Ireland hoping to break their drought. They've played Namibia twice, and they've lost to them twice. Rather embarrassing statistic in Irish rugby, but hopefully, from my point of view, they'll put that right tonight after their win against Romania in the opening game.
He's the receiver. Look up. I need one of your players out. Number 7.
David Jones with the tail. Got a scurrying about. Llewellyn picks it up. Sidoli driven on by Jenkins. Alex Popham waits. Now it's Gareth Cooper. Again, it's Mark Jones coming in off the wing. No knock forward, says Honus.
Come on, 6.
Tackle from Afiaki. Cooper to Jones. There's numbers here for Wales. Yeston Harris. Knocked forward by Vianuka, and it was a very important interception by him there because there were 2 Welshmen outside.
The great thing is Wales is staying camped in the Tongan 22, and hopefully in time, if they just keep their patience, they'll get a score, even if it's just 3 points. Get a score, take it to 9-3. This isn't going to be a 40-50 pointer tonight in these conditions. You know, 6 points is normally going to be worth double that in dry conditions, so they're just going to be patient, keep cool.
It's gone, it's out!
Messy night. Gareth Cooper, ball was out, must be advantage to the Reds there. There was a knock forward.
Scrum it down.
Scrum just got wheeled. He made it messy, he made it hard for Gareth Cooper, and this is where Alex Popham has got to be very, very in great authority when he discusses it with Chavez and also with Cooper. Who's doing what, how are we going to do it? Because although they've retained the put in here, can they get it right this time?
Yeah, he's quite raw, is Alex Popham. Gareth Cooper blindside breaks it. Perfect Cooper! What a try by the scrum half! He read the situation absolutely brilliantly. The Tongan back row were super glued to that scrummage. They didn't see it coming. And that's what Wales needed. An opening try for the Dragons. Wales 11, Tonga 3.
Where Tui Fua, Tonga left winger is, I don't know, and I doubt Wales care too much either. But Gareth Cooper spotted the gap, spotted the hole. Great dive, slide your way in, smiling 5 yards out. Well spotted, good vision, good awareness. The wheel in the scrum certainly helped because the back row have obviously got to stay down, so that certainly helped Gareth Cooper. And there he goes, gone. Back row nowhere to be seen, but where is Tui Fua, the left winger? As I said before, Cooper and his mates don't care.
We still don't know where he is. We haven't seen him yet. Slide it in there, Stephen Jones, but he was certainly too quick for the Tongan back row, and it was nicely manoeuvred try by Gareth Cooper. And you talk about the importance of vision in a scrum half, and he had a lot of vision there.
Well, it was great odds, wasn't it? You can't really blame the Tongan back row. They've got to be bound to the scrum, but that's a really important score for Wales. The fact they spent 6, 7, 8 minutes down in the Tongan 22 and came away with something, that was really important.
Llewellyn.
Long time, Reds. On the back white.
Colin Jarvis. It's more like it from Wales, beginning to dominate in those forward exchanges. Cooper to Jones. Shanklin didn't even put in touch there. I think he did. Of course, it's on a night like this, you know, if you get a dry night, Wales would be expecting to get the bonus point with 4 tries, which could be very important again in this pool. So obviously they want to win, but you know, if they can squeeze 4 tries out of it on a dirty night like this, they'll be doubly delighted, obviously.
Very much the bonus, but they're not going to get them if they tactically get it wrong, and I felt that playing down the short side was not the right option there. Let's get it back down in the Tongan half by the boot, because the Tongan line-out isn't that efficient.
Ben Hur, oh there he is, he's back again now. Tui Fua playing scrum half, maybe that was the problem.
Roll out, red one. Lost forward, advantage Reds.
Lost forward, it is advantage to Wales here, so Gareth Cooper. Turnover ball, and they got big numbers out here, Wales. The Tongan defence, nowhere to be seen. There's holes all over the place. This is Mark Jones. Fanua is now across. They want quick, clean ball here, Wales. Gareth Cooper under pressure, and the pick up by Vianuka, and now it's Payne. Well, this could be an incredible breakaway try for Tonga. Well, that was frenetic activity. In the end, it was Hufanga, the centre, who might have gone in, but it looked like a try was odds on for Wales from the breakaway, from the turnover, and suddenly it was all going desperately wrong for them.
It certainly was, but it was poor back play by Wales. They didn't draw the last men, and suddenly loose ball from the ruck. And Hapanga's away, and he just gets beaten by the bounce of the ball in the touch.
It's okay, it's gone beyond now.
Stephen Jones. Long clearing kick. Tonga taking it quickly. Vianuka beats one. Almost beats two. And sets it well for Martins. And it's Tui Fua. Maybe not so good in defence. He looks sharp enough in attack though.
On your feet, White.
Kita sets it up for Afiaki. Martins. Hola. That goes Rhys Williams. Difficult conditions for Rhys Williams. The pick up by Hola. And it's a try for Tonga. The error and fullback by Rhys Williams. And he pounced, didn't he? My goodness, that was superb from Hola. He was through like a cobra.
Well played, Pierre Hola. It just looked as though Wales's concentration has dropped from what it was 5 minutes ago. Here we go, he spots the little gap, he then gets a ricochet, has another stab at it. Rhys Williams down, just loses the ball. Hola picks up, harder stop from that sort of range. And with the kick virtually in front, it brings it down to 1 point probably. But there's the ricochet, and Williams had to be so secure all over.
There's good support for the Tongans tonight in this crowd. The Australians are like that, you know, they're inclined to pick a team to support, so there's always tremendous atmosphere at these matches. They're simply enthusiastic about their sport in this country. So Hola with the conversion, simple as you like.
Well, Wales can't do anything about it now. They've got to regroup, play the game down in the Tongan 22. Stop little passes and down the blind side in their own half, or in the bottom third of their own half. Get it down the Tongan end. They're making enough mistakes that they can capitalise on and get some points on the board.
That's the dreadlock. Finakita. Martins back to Hola. You've got to remember that the Welsh tonight are playing a nation with a population smaller than Swansea.
Only red forwards in front.
Rhys Williams.
Check where the ball was from, George.
That's going to go all the way out.
Yeah, opposite scrum.
Ball goes dead.
22.
So they'll come back a long way.
Pity. Really important 10 minutes, I think, this for Wales. They've really got to get that concentration level up. The discipline has got to be spot on, and tactically they've got to get it right. But it's Tongan's put in.
Stand up, Wales.
Obviously with a big blind side to the right, as you can see there. So options plenty for Martins to consider for Tongan scrum half.
Use that.
Ben Hur, number 8, white-booted Ben Hur. Lilo Martins looking for the gap. Well, they should be wise to that. The Welsh he plays as rugby has done for several seasons in Wales. And in off their feet, I think it might have been Colin Jarvis and maybe David Jones. There were several players actually that may well have been penalised. And Tonga now have a chance to take the lead. And this game is remarkably similar to the match I did last night. France against Japan. France really should have run away with that one. Japan, certainly in the first half, pushed the ball away, and the Tongans really are putting the squeeze on Wales now.
Yes, they certainly are, and a few questions being asked amongst the Welsh forwards. How can we get some control back? Because the last 5 minutes or so has been all Tonga, mainly due to Wales's mistakes, I have to say. They had that glorious 4-on-1 overlap, which was in for all money, I felt, but they just didn't, you know, capitalise. They didn't just do the basics right and draw the men and then pass it. They just quickly down the line, which was easy to defend. Fanua just, you know, angled off each one of the Welsh players, and from then on it's been all Tonga. And the way this guy kicks it, the captain of Wales is looking at going behind with about 5 or 6 minutes to go to half time.
Zealand born, Pierre Holla. Misses this time. But it's still mighty close. Wales have had, to use a little bit of Irish language, some famous defeats. Tonga have had some famous victories. They've beaten France, they've also beaten Australia, but that was a long time ago, 30 years ago. And if they could put one over on the Welsh tonight, well...
5 red, out here please. Yeah,
the referee wants to speak to 5 red. Siddeley.
Well, I think it was against Tonga. I thought it was against the Tongan hooker, Mayasi. I think it's against Tonga. I think it's...
Okay, keep it down.
Yeah. Well, he said 5 red, but he meant 5 white. Tonga normally play in red. Maybe pulling us that excuse. But he's penalised Viliami Vacu. Actually had a yellow card against the Italians, so it's a penalty to Wales. A little bit of confusion there from Paul Honus.
Sorry guys, did I say 5 red, did I?
You did say 5 red, yes you did. Thank you very much. Another early night with a cocoa in the law book.
Neffin Davis is the man who took the quick tap for the 22 and got a stiff arm for his troubles, but fortunately it was spotted. That looked pretty crooked, and it was.
It was 5 red that time. Sidoli, not straight.
On the 15.
Scrummage is not Tonga's party piece, but it's got to be done in 15 aside. They're much happier at 7s.
But line-out should be Wales's party piece. They should be controlling that much better, and certainly Neffin Davis doesn't need to throw it in crooked.
Too much of an angle to start with. Clear the touchline, crouch and hold.
They want to do what Japan were doing last night, and that's get it in, get it out. Channel as fast as you can, but don't kick it through to the Welsh feet, which they almost did there. Holla. That's a poor ball. Bianaki put under pressure, but Tom Shanklin again was pulled in off his wing, and again if the Tongans had managed to get the ball out smoothly and quickly, they might have been away, but it's all ifs and buts. Iannuka gets it back to Holla. Rhys Williams takes. Mark Jones slices that one. Iannuka has gone outside his 22. Panic for his teammates. Where's he going next? Advantage to Wales. And they might take advantage of it here because they have an overlap. Here's Taylor to Shanklin. The defence is across now, but Shanklin's a strong man. It's a fine tackle indeed. As Gareth Cooper goes wide to Rhys Williams. Stephen Jones, it's a terrible pass from Stephen Jones. Now Colin Jarvis underneath the Tongan post. 4 on 2 for Wales. And the whistle's gone. Forward pass against Wales, no advantage. So they're going to get away with it here, but it was a 4 on 2, and really they should have scored a try again. That's the second time they've been culpable.
Got to work harder in midfield to get back to the offside line, please, White.
Very much so. A great pity because it was try all over it, and they're going to get 3, so they've got something out of it. Huge overlap here. 2 or 3 long passes. That one went to floor. Jarvis took it in straight up the middle, and quick recycle ball went left again, but alas, not to hand. Well, certainly wasn't. It was a forward pass to Mark Jones. Well, the Wales backline movements are not an example of precision engineering at the moment. They're making far too many errors there. And it's about being clinical at this level, and Wales have not been that. Well, in conditions like this, you're not going to get a half a dozen chances. You might do in the last 10-15 minutes if a side's struggling fitness-wise and physically. But they really should have had a couple more tries this half, Wales, and they'll be disappointed certainly with the one they conceded. That there's no doubt.
Holla. Llewellyn. Cooper, that's inside the 22. Stephen Jones. Again, he's missed a touch yet again by Iannuka. Calling for the mark is Yeston Harris.
Holding red.
And he misses touch. Missing touch for Fun Wales. Tuifua is going to go dead. Rhys Williams touches down. But they've been very scratchy in a lot of areas, Wales.
Yes, they have. Obviously, you're going to get a few unenforced errors with conditions like this. But there's been enough plus points in this first half, and I think the longer the game goes on, certainly the Tongan scrum is going to get considerably weaker, and I think that's where Wales can get real advantage.
Forced forward by a Tongan hand, so it's the advantage to Wales. 2 knock-ons now, so it's another one of those scrums.
Yes, the Welsh scrum's been no problem at all, and Tonga have certainly struggled to keep it straight, and a good opportunity here for Wales to try and get us another score just before half time.
Wait for the call. Come forward, Red. Break up, fellas. Let's sit square the touchlines, please. Come around, White.
Strong men, the Tongans. Quite a few of them play in the NFL in America. There are 2 Tongans now. The lucrative sumo circuit in Japan, and they've managed to get a free kick out of that one. There's a thundering run. That's more like South Sea Island Polynesian stuff. That not 10 metres, Wales. Martins takes it quickly again. They're not 10, but that was poor from Martins, and Holland with a rather optimistic drop of goal, to say the least. Rhys Williams slices off his boot. Wales only leading by 14 points to 10 as we approach the half-time break. And your summation of this Welsh performance in the first half, Jamie?
Well, they're in the lead, that's one thing, by 4 points, but certainly they need to tighten up their game to secure a victory this evening.
Wales do lead though by 14 points to 10. Analysis from Ian Evans and Scott Hastings after the break. Thank you very much, chaps. Yes, the Tongans have had 2 wins in the World Cup against the Ivory Coast, and very famously against Italy in 1999. You might remember at Leicester when Tui Peluto dropped a goal at injury time to squeeze the Tongans home by 28 points to 25. But Jamie, do you agree with the guys in the studio that should be the tactical approach in the second half?
Very much so. You're not going to get any prizes from running the ball from deep on a night like this. You've got to play it deep in the opposition territory. And tactically, it's very important now that Jarvis is captain and Gareth Cooper and Stephen Jones get it absolutely right, because I think they're missing Sonny Parker in midfield to take it up the middle.
Yes, he was very direct and very effective against Canada. Finakito knocks forward, but offside against the Tongans.
Could be the perfect start for Wales. Dead right decision from Paul Honus. Mark Jones goes in, and certainly Barkey does not know the laws of the game. He should have just let that ball go, and Stephen Jones can get a 7-point lead up for Wales, which would be a perfect way to start this half, because I think that the longer this is close, the harder it's going to be for Wales. They've just got to stretch this lead, and 17 to 20, get a 10-point lead, do it on that sort of basis.
Successful with 3 penalties so far, make that 4, and the lead is extended 17 points to 10. And so often these smaller nations, the weaker nations, can make a fight of things in the first half, but then they begin to tire, and the more senior sides, the professional sides, take over and rack up big scores. Will that happen in this second half? But let's remember that the conditions out there very difficult indeed. The rain does seem to have eased quite considerably, but the ball very slippery, handling difficult.
It's a super pitch though. It's in great nick, this pitch here, and another very impressive stadium.
Jarvis. Winston Harris to Mark Taylor. Tongans attempting to intercept there, and Mark Taylor thumping it downfield, long way downfield by Anuku, who slices that one. Now a chance for Wales to run here through Mark Jones. Vanaka makes the tackle. Rhys Williams to Stephen Jones.
player here. Number 6, straight off your feet.
Number 6 straight off your feet. You can probably hear Paul Hodis saying that. That's David Jones. So a little bit of indiscipline from Wales, but again, if they've got good, clean, quick ball, they might have been able to open up this Tongan defence.
Yes, great pity for Wales. Wayward kick from Tonga, didn't capitalise on it. And now they're in their own 22 with a Tongan line out. And can they disrupt this? Because Tongan will obviously look to keep it down here for as long as possible.
We've seen a lot of poor tactical kicking in this match so far. Tongan forwards very late to the line out. Goes to a tail and driven forward by Lavaka. And now Vanaka. Martins. It's all a bit static there for Holla. It's going to be hard to find your way through a defence at that pace. Taking the ball, standing still, and the Welsh win the ball back. Sidoli. Yeston Harris. Again, great yardage. Tongan's back in possession by Nuka, whose kicking has been pretty poor in this match so far. Either fails to find touch, or when he does, he slices it. Rhys Williams with a chip and chase. The number 8, Ben-Hur Kivalu. Who needs a chariot? Fenukita, no advantage. Offside against the Welsh.
Well, the touch judge on the far side had his flag up momentarily.
Come on, Pablo.
And Pablo De Luca has spotted something, and I think it was the ball being thrown by the Tongan player. I don't think it's this particular incident, I don't think. They're just having a bit of a cuddle, unless something else is going to happen. But he threw the ball in the face. I think it was Afiaki who threw the ball into the face of one of the Welsh players, and he might reverse this decision.
Change the penalty. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, against white. Thank you. 6 white, 6 red. 6 white, 6
and it's
red.
kickable. If he reverses this, it's kickable for Wales.
And if he wants litigation, Pablo De Luca's got a law degree, so he can move it forward.
I'm now returning the penalty, reversing the penalty against whites, penalty here to red. Throwing the ball into his face.
Well, you heard what Honer said. He was throwing the ball in the face, and Afiaki is not happy with it, and here comes the penalty attempt. So this could be a very good break indeed for Wales. I didn't think it was too bad. Top right of your picture. There you are, Afiaki's been pushed off the ball by Dapper James. There goes the ball in his face. Doesn't keep his discipline. Now, he might have had a little bit of a slot at him as well. So, well, it wasn't Afiaki either, actually. It was, yes, it was Afiaki. Beg your pardon. So, well played Dapper Jones, because he kept his cool and got the penalty reversed.
And you might say, or the Tongan captain might say, here's another fine mess you've got me into, Stanley, because he's possibly given away 3 points, the big number 7. Not this time. So Stanley Afiaki gets away with it. Tonga get away with it. The score remains Wales 17, Tonga 10. 1 try apiece. Gareth Cooper with that very incisive blindside break in the first half, and Pierre Holla, the man who's just taken that restart for Tonga, scoring a try for them. Shanklin picks the ball up. Now Stephen Jones. Yeston Harris. It's very high. It's not going to go too far. Advantage to Tonga. There's a knock forward. Celino Martins takes the ball into contact. Stephen Jones with the tackle. Fenukita out now. Dreadlocks make him easy to spot. Martins. Not a good kick. Straight to Shanklin. And Shanklin's strong. That's a powerful run. Eventually it's Kivalu who brings him to ground. Now can Wales build on this? Yeston Harris. Mismove brings in Rhys Williams. Sidoli. Mark Jones. Tonga defence looks pretty well organised though. Stephen Jones. Support from David Jones. Stayed on his feet, David Jones. The Tongans didn't. Advantage to the Reds. Here's Rhys Williams. And half through now go Wales. Methven Davis, Gareth Cooper, tackled by Holla. Colin Jarvis, forward pass. But a tremendous blast through the middle of the field by the hooker Methven Davis there. Pity about the forward pass. Again, the final moments from Wales are costing them dear.
Yes, they certainly are. Golden opportunity there. And the Tongan defence is now at 6s and 7s. It's not organised. Good handoff. Well done, Methven Davis. And to be fair to him, presents the ball well, and it's quick ball. That's what you want, quick ball. And that's the little pop inside to Jarvis that just goes forward. What I'm really interested in now is how good is this Tongan scrum? I think it's in real trouble.
Standing up, White, standing up. No, you stood up. The pressure was fine. You stood up.
I never ever thought I'd see the day when a Harlequin centre became an expert in scrummaging.
Going back with the push.
I never claimed that. I just said they were in trouble.
David Soul, if you're watching, you've got a rival.
And there you see it's going backwards pretty smartly. Front row stands up to basically say we can't cope with this pressure. And the way Stephen Jones is kicking, I don't want to put the kibosh on him, but here we go.
He missed the last one. That's 2 in a row from Stephen Jones, and really, as Ryan Evans and Scott Hastings were saying, they really have to capitalise on this pressure on the Tongan side. Although you fancy the Tongans perhaps are tiring, and it is hugely exhausting for a set of forwards to be out-scrummaged the way they're being out-scrummaged here tonight. It does drain physically. So at the moment, I think we fancy Wales to win this one. Here's Shanklin, Yeston Harris. We don't want a shocker here in Canberra from Wales. They've experienced it before in the World Cup. Good presentation of the ball. Lilo Martins, Fenukito knocks forward. Advantage for Wales. Turnover ball. Poor pass from Gareth Cooper, though. They're all over the place here. Now Mark Taylor, the Lions centre, suffered quite badly in recent seasons, the 30-year-old with a knee injury. Alex Popham pops it beautifully to Jones. That's Rhys Williams. Advantage to Wales. The Tongans now off their feet. Cavallo are starting to give away a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
You're giving too many penalties now. At the tackle, you're coming in from the side and off your feet. Talk to your players. Let's get some discipline, please.
Well, he should have also said, in my view, if it keeps on going, Sunshine, you're going to get a few yellows. And he was the captain, Ben-Hur Cavallo, and I thought that was a perfect opportunity for Hone to say, I'm going to start dishing out a few colours here. And he didn't, so he hasn't given the... Well, it is a warning of sorts. But anyway, Wales staying in the Tongan half.
Methven Davis. Good leap on Popham. Methven Davis has the ball under control. Someone's lost a boot. The Wales have not lost their way. Well, yeah, in front of the ball carrier, obstruction and a penalty to Tonga. Disappointing.
It was disappointing, but tactically it was right. Catch and drive. They know that the Tongan forwards are struggling. And I think tactically that was the right option to go for. And a good call by Jarvis to do that sort of move, a catch and drive off the line out. And it's just a pity they couldn't execute it to the full.
Yeah, away we go. Come out of the way. No, we're playing on.
But they are beginning to squeeze the life out of this Tongan team.
Thank you.
Referee says play on as the prop forward receives some treatment. Kisi Pulu.
Well, here's the catch and drive. And I think he's basically, yeah, that's when it had become detached. And Llewellyn went straight into the back of Sodoli. So it was a fair call from Honus.
Maisi. And Wales spoiling well on the line out of Methven Davis with a crunching tackle there on Kisi Pulu. It was a Tongan-like tackle from the Welshman. Martins. Hurled to the ground. Greek or Roman wrestling in there at the moment. Fenukito, and that's crossing surely. Yes, it is. Fenukito, the dummy runner. It did create the hole for Holla. But But the Holla hole wasn't it?
6 wide, crossing obstruction.
Yeah, good call. The Tongan crowd don't like it. I'm sorry, the Canberra crowd don't like it, who adopted Tonga. To remind everybody that Tongan seems to be the adopted sons of the Canberra people. But as you'll see, it's the man coming across there, Pudukatau, who creates the hole for Holla. Jarvis obviously saying, give me a break, ref, and he certainly did that.
Paul Hollis explaining the decision again to Ben-Hur Kivalu.
Interesting decision by Wales to go for goal, because Jones has missed the last couple, and I actually rather thought about putting it long left in the corner and doing that catch and drive again. It is within his range, but obviously the ball's a bit heavy, and having put the kibosh on the last kick, I hope it sails through the uprights. But it's a big ask, having missed the last couple, and a long way out.
Never getting there. Good call, Mr. Sun. Splendid stuff. Taken by Shanklin. And that little chip through, you know, it rarely works anymore because defences are far too well organised. They do sweep, and that was Holla. Advantage though to Wales. Here's Yeston Harris. He looks up, trying to create something, and he might well do it with Popham. Here's Jones. Tackle by Fanua. Cooper. Gareth Llewellyn. Oh, strength and power and pace from Gareth Llewellyn. Looking for support, and the interception by Anuka. Well, the chip ahead was the right idea, but the direction of it was disappointing for him. He did have one supporting runner inside. But that's the second time that when Wales have looked like scoring a try, Tonga have burst away with it and almost scored at the other end.
Well, fortunately there was enough Welsh cover, but Gareth Llewellyn, who had he'll claim he sold a dummy, but he then got the execution wrong for the pass to Popham.
Scruffy line out, difficult handling conditions. Cooper, Dwayne Peel apparently is warming up for Wales. That's a super take by Kivalu, and now it's Fanua.
Couldn't roll clear, he was tripped.
Player trap on the base of that ruck, and a scrummage goes to Tonga. There's Dwayne Peel there on the touchline, the replacement scrum half.
Well, I think it's blood, as we see congratulations going for not one of the best chips I've seen down the touchline when you're free, but there we go. I think Gareth Cooper might come back on though. I think it's blood related, that particular change.
Kivalu and Finikita trying to work the oracle in a back row movement there, and they've done pretty well. Good strength driving in there for Uselatu. Martins, Holla. It is difficult to keep your feet out there, but going in over the top, not staying on their feet. Colin Jarvis, penalty, kickable penalty this for Holla. Remember, the gap is only 7 points.
Well, Dapper Jones going straight over the top, and that's a pity. There's Gareth Cooper with that blood injury I referred to earlier.
Well, they played once before in the World Cup, these two teams, 1987. Wales won 29-16, so they're a tight old match on that occasion, and they're having a tight old one here too.
It's sod's law on these sort of occasions. You know, your kickers miss 3, they get 1 chance, slot it over, suddenly 17-13, crowd wakes up and you think, oh no, it's game on again.
Well, he seemed to slip at contact. It certainly wasn't the purchase he was looking for.
And then just before he kicked it, he was reminded that he was very close to a minute. You're only allowed a minute to kick a goal, and he was very close to that mark. Let off for Wales.
Chris Wyatt is now warming up for Wales on the touchline, and it's Finikita. And this time he finds a gap legally. Good platform for the forwards. Pick up on drive by Maisi. And it's lost forward though.
Lost forward, fellas. Lost forward.
He had 13 turnovers, handling errors in the first half.
There you see the ball going forward in the tackle from Marassi rather. Sonny Martin's the captain, or the scrum half, not too happy about it all.
Tonga have produced some very famous rugby players indeed. If they'd all played for Tonga, they might have been quite a force. Jonah Lomu you might have heard of, Willie Ofahengawe, Tutai Kefu and his brother Steve, internationals all. And that's from an island, or a series of islands, with a population of only 110,000 and only 62 rugby clubs. So they do remarkably well, considering. Dwayne Peel, Popham, Picks, Peel, Jones.
Great kick, super kick from Stephen Jones. Relieved the pressure in one boot.
Number four, red.
And the referee's just saying that Gareth Llewellyn's time is up, I think.
Yep, Chris Wyatt I think is going to come on now. Very experienced player, his 8th tour for Wales, 2nd Rugby World Cup, an Athlete man. Late call-up for Michael Owen, who pulled out with an injury. And winning his 37th cap. Chris Wyatt, well known for his ability in the loose in particular. He's a decent highlight forward as well. That Llanelli side, they've done so well in the Heineken Cup, and there we are, making an immediate impact is Chris Wyatt. Although it's slappy ball for Dwayne Peel. They had to move backward to collect it. Yeston Harris. Harris misses out. Here's Rhys Williams. Rhys Williams, one man to beat. The pace from Rhys Williams. Williams a metre short. Can he turn and get the ball down? And we'll have a timeout, says Paul Honus. The TV official is Andy Turner from South Africa.
Andy, just coming upstairs, please. Could you just check for me whether there's a try being scored or not? Just the grounding of the ball. Everything's fine, thanks, mate.
A desperate last-ditch defence from Fanua and from Martins. That angle won't give a definitive answer, I'm pretty sure. This one might. Rhys Williams, can he rotate over and ground the ball and be in control of it? I suspect not, would be my initial reaction to that. This one might help, that's before the line. Martins is diving in. That isn't going to help the TV match official either, the video ref as they call it.
Well, if those are the only angles he has, you can't give the try, I don't think. No, you can't see if the ball's grounded or not, it's as simple as that. Rhys Williams thinks he's got it, he's got a smile on his face, but that may be bluff.
It's never a try, you can't give it. You just cannot give it.
No, not from those angles.
I think Fanua's got a good hand on it as well, to be fair to him.
Yep.
But great break by Rhys Williams. Super break.
Okay, so
pace, good angle, good line of running. And
time on now.
it's a pity it doesn't result in a try.
Hey! Okay. Right. Held up. 5 minutes scrum. Wales ball.
Got to be the right decision. Got to be the right decision there.
The upside for Wales is it's they're put into the scrum, so all's not lost, especially with the way the Tongan scrum's going.
Slightly better Tongan scrummage this time.
Screwed. Your ball, White.
There's been no indication that might happen. Just suddenly a 5-metre scrum, you think Wales in control, take your time, and then suddenly it goes round and it becomes a Tongan scrum. But can they clear it?
Yeah, the front row.
Straight on the angle.
The front row for Tonga has been like a 3-man jack in the box in the last 7 or 8 scrummages, and it was suddenly all changed there. And then the penalty is given against Yeston Thomas for, I think it was boring in. So they really failed to take advantage there, as they have so often in this match. It's a bit like watching Tim Henman play tennis this at the moment.
Well, I can't say it's a comparison I thought of immediately, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, just when you think it's all over in straight sets, you know, there's the comeback, and then you got to sit through a 5-hour 5-setter chewing your fingernails. And remember, Tonga are only, you know, a converted try away from tying things up here. Martins. Jones. Rhys Williams put under considerable pressure by the Tongan defenders and gets the ball away to touch. One of them was Afiaki.
Good kick, good tactics by the Tongans. Good take by Mark Jones, but a couple of replacements coming on now for Wales. I think Martin Williams won, I think.
Yeah, the ginger-haired Martin Williams is on. Maisi, and well stolen by Chris Wyatt, but no gap. Martins wants the ball quickly.
I've always thought the referee, as soon as they give decisions like that, should look at the ball to, you know, to enable it to come back quickly to the sides that are receiving the free kick or the penalty.
Finakita. That's up to the Welsh 22. Tonga very, very much in this game, and a powerful drive by Maisa. Salilo Martins to Holla. It's the prop forward this time. Lavaka.
Lost forward, 3 whites.
Lost forward by the prop. Well, Tonga, they know they can win this match. You know, 20 minutes to go. Very much in touch. The whole of Wales must be extremely nervous.
Jackson holds. White call. Engage.
Well, there's a long way to go. Still 20 minutes to go in this game, so anything could happen.
Goal, it's out. Right time, White, 7, stay. He's on.
Suddenly the Welsh scrummage is in a bit of trouble, a bit of a mess. Vanika has to release the ball, says Honus. Finakito picks up. Now it's the big second row forward, Vaki. Maisi. Good tackle there by Yeston Thomas, and now Dwayne Peel comes away. Here's Yeston Harris. Support inside from Stephen Jones. There's men outside. Chip through for Shanklin to chase. Maybe the wrong option. Vanika had it covered, and Wales have men.
They most certainly did, and this is where the ball goes forward again. Great turnover ball, and to Wales's credit, they acknowledged that. They've run it back, and just once again, I felt it should have gone out to Shanklin. I thought he was in room and in space in order to do that. But once again, Vanuku does well to cover because he took a wonderful high ball moments earlier.
Sidoli, Peel, Stephen Jones. That's good ball. Here's Yeston Harris. Shanklin. In goes Martin Williams. You can see the post. That's close. Dwayne Peel. Methan Davis takes it on. Dwayne Peel once more. Stephen Jones. Advantage to Wales. Peel, and it's Martin Williams with the drop and goal. Oh my goodness, he's done his ins and Brook. Not quite the same distance, but still effective. 3 points to the Welsh, 20 points to 10 from a very surprising individual, you'd have to say.
Well, I think Yeston Harris and Stephen Jones will be thankful for that, but give them some stick later on. It certainly wasn't climbing as it went through the goalpost, but it's 3 points nonetheless. He's got a little chuckle about it. Important score. 2 scores now needed for Tonga to get into this game and win it. So well played, Wales. They got down there and made it count.
That is Martin Williams' first drop goal for Wales, by the way.
I can't believe it. I thought he had 3 or 4.
Wales making replacements. Remember, following this match from 10:45 on ITV1, Ireland's World Cup campaign continues. They play Namibia in Sydney, and then the action continues after that on ITV2 with the plucky Georgians taking on Samoa from Perth. That's on ITV2 at 1 o'clock. And remember the website for all the information on the Rugby World Cup, itv.com/RWC. Adam Jones is on for Wales, who now look a little bit more comfortable at 20 points to 10. Wales putting themselves under unnecessary pressure. Namo is on for Afiaki, the brother of Johnny Namo, who used to play for Harlequins. Johnny was a centre, his brother's a lock.
Bad mistake by Wales. You just cannot let a restart bounce.
And that is Namo, immediately making his impression felt. It's a good drive by the Tongans. Good ball, they're controlling it well. 15 metres short of that Welsh line. They've left someone's head behind. I hope it's a head guard. Oh, this is tremendous stuff from the Tongans. There's the line. Can they make it? Ben-Hur Kavalu's there. Salilo Martins waits. They've got to get that ball moving, keep it moving, and they've done it. Kavalu. They've got backs and forwards in there. Holla drives to the line, metres short, try for Tonga. That was sensational forward play from the Polynesians. They had so much control and direction there, and now they are right back in this match. 5 points adrift of Wales with 15 minutes to go.
Well, the most unlike Tonga try you'll ever see, and Wales paid the price for not looking after restart ball, allowing it to bounce, a rushed clearance kick, and the line out, and a 20-yard drive from the Tongan forwards, who kept their patience, kept their composure, kept their organisation, and eventually got over that Welsh line. Very disappointing try to concede from a Welsh viewpoint, but certainly the captain in there, Kavalu, organising everything.
Well, the ball was like a chariot at pace, and of course Ben-Hur had the score. 20 points to 15. And I suspect a few tummy upsets in the Welsh valleys in the next 15 minutes or so.
And a really important kick, because that'll just narrow it to 3 points, and the penalty can get them the draw, and Wales do not want a draw. That would not be good enough for them. Would put enormous pressure on their game against Italy next week.
Maybe the pressure's getting to Pierre Holla. That's a couple of very important kicks he's missed now. Would be so important. Stephen Jones has missed a few for Wales, but they're delighted, the Tongans here. Quite a strong Polynesian influence here in Canberra, in the capital.
But so typical of a side like Tonga. Just when we think the forwards are down and out, they come back with a try like that.
Well, Wales have got a bushfire to put out now. 66.5 minutes gone. And Akito, he knocks forward again from the restart. Maybe somebody else should be calling for those. He's knocked on a couple of times. Here's Yeston Harris, and here's a chance, but it's good covering defence. Very quickly up there were Tonga. Pick up by Wyatt. Chris Wyatt, so strong. Martins brings him down. Jones. Harris, big numbers again. Wales as Harris feeds it wide to Martin Williams, and a try for Wales. He adds 5 points to his drop goal, and that's what you call an impact player from the bench. The British Lion makes his contribution, 8 points to the Welsh cause, and it's now 25-15, and what a perfect riposte from the Red Dragons.
Absolutely spot on. Yeston Harris may have had a quietish sort of game, but watch this for timing, decision making. Drew the defence in, lobbed the ball over the top, knew there were numbers out there. Super play by Yeston Harris. He knows what's on, he knows who's available. Lovely.
Class vision from Harris, who was the standout player for Wales against Canada. And he does seem to have that extra little bit of time, and he certainly looks around him. Stephen Jones strikes the conversion beautifully, and that will have a settling effect on the nation.
It certainly will, coming straight after conceding that Tongan try.
Crowd now a little bit muted and risen to their feet. They always like to support the underdog here in Australia.
And also they put Tom Jones over the loudspeakers.
Off CD, not live. Jones, that looked forward. Not forward anyway. Siddeley couldn't quite grasp it.
Nice and square on before the ball comes in, please, fellas. Not too much effort before the ball comes in.
Actually, just thinking about it, you know, all that came from a very basic error from Tonga. Fanakito's inability to take the restart. It was an easy enough ball for him to take. And then Wales were away, and they're maybe away again. Crashing over the gain line there goes David Jones, showing tremendous strength and authority. Stephen Jones. Now, again, they have numbers out wide. Yeston Harris had 3-2 inside his own half, though. Decides to go for the kick. Fanua gets it back to Vaniaki, and as we have pointed out so many times, he either misses touch or he slices it.
Yeah, he's not had a bad game though, apart from his kicking. But well played, Daffy Jones. He's pulled into number 8 since Alex Popham went off, and that was a great pick-up from the base of the scrum. Good control. Yeston Harris had the option of going wide. It was certainly on, but elected to go for territory.
Nathan Davis, taken by Chris Wyatt, but not straight.
Well, with 10 minutes to go, there's going to come a stage where Tonga have got a chance their arm from every position. Obviously, they're well behind now.
I can only imagine that Paul Honus has a theodolite or something out there, because that wasn't straight, it was only an inch or two off.
Well, a converted try for Tonga gets them a point if Wales don't add to their 27 on the board, so they've got to think positively.
A bit of confusion at the base of that scrummage. Cavallo and Martin's not quite knowing what each other was doing. They've recovered though, and then my goodness have they recovered. Coming away now, it's Vaki. Vaki sets it for Martins, and was there crossing? Accident? Yeah, there was. Accidental offside. The man who's penalised is the replacement Ephraim Tuakafa. Pity that, because there was space behind the Welsh defence there, and the Tongans may well have broken through.
A couple of times they've got around the fringes, and certainly Pulu was blocking any Welsh tackler on Martins.
Nathan Davis being replaced by Hugh Bennett, who actually played schools rugby for England, but has Welsh parents.
He's not bound, it's out. Now let him play it. Last feet wide.
Colin Jarvis tries to clear a passage for the ball and manages to do so. Obstruction, was it? Yeah, it was again. He's been very harsh on that. You sort of get to know what a referee looks for in the end.
Well, I thought it was pretty much the same as the one with Martins, to be frank with you. That was a scrum. So, give him the penalty.
Thankfully, the downpour of earlier has ceased. Conditions much better here. Replacement hooker Tuakafa, and Nafahu's come on for Fanukito as well. Tuakafa just outside the Welsh 22. Trot forward, trying to roll Lavaka. Oh, and stamping and climbing and all sorts of things by Leotafo. The touch judge has his flag up. He's on the pitch for a word.
This player was on his feet. He had all rights to the ball. Where we go?
George Ayoub wants a word.
He's going to insist on the word, isn't he? He's walked all the way to Owners to say it, and I think it was this mountain climbing that Tonga embarked upon.
I think Chris Bonington would have been proud of that.
Wales have already got the penalty, so it's going to be inconsequential, to be perfectly frank with you. And certainly the Tua was the man who's been... there you go.
Don't be stupid. Come on and play positive rugby. Staying with the original penalty.
So he's got a warning if he does that sort of thing again. George Ayoub, the touch judge, has got into the game.
Guys, stay behind him.
Well, he grew up in Australia. I think he thought he was in the snowy mountains there. Certainly a fine attempt on the summit. But Wales leading 27 points to 15. 7 minutes to go. So it looks like it's going to be a second consecutive victory for the Welsh, having beaten Canada in their opening game by 41 points to 10. What they would really like is a couple of late tries to pick up the bonus point. Well, that would be juicy. Sidole. Peel. Stephen Jones. The centres were miles away, so the kick was the obvious option tactically. Vianaku has to release the ball and does so. And that's another good break by the big second row forward. He's done it twice now, Vaki. And Vaki finds support from Ben-Hur. Kavala not too far away, the Tongans. And they're there in numbers. And it's good presentation of the ball for Stephen Martins. Vianaku tackled by Jones. 3 metres short, Martins. Pile driving in at the big prop forward, Lavaka. Well, it's a steam hammer assault with this Welsh line here in the closing minutes. Salilo Martins gets it back to Holla. Jones again with the important tackle. And they're going to get a penalty. Offside against the Welsh.
Goal line, goal line. Good call.
Well, Wales once again paying the price, believing the fringes unlocked, and straight through the middle, down the middle.
Scrum.
Decision time.
Scrum.
Ready for a scrum, which is un-Tongan-like. Obviously haven't been practicing their moves.
What a run by Vaki, the Parma lock, 27-year-old, and then tremendous support and handling by the Fijians. It was an important tackle in the end by Tom Shanklin getting back, but Tonga calling for a scrummage. Okay, it's improved in the last 20 minutes or so, but really it's not one of their favourite things.
Head over the mark, please.
Well, I can't believe there's going to be anything other than Channel 1, and by Channel 1 I mean in and out away from the number 8's feet and out into the back line. I can't believe they're going to go for anything more ambitious than that, unless he picks it up at number 8.
Which is exactly what he does. Ben-Hur trying to get support, gets it eventually, and I tell you what, this second row forward has got great pace, Vaki. Really is a line breaker. Cavallo clears the ball out and tries to. Ball is off the ground. Tongans are going to get the scrummage.
That 5, white scrum.
Williams not too happy with the decision.
So we're playing on, guys. We're playing on.
To say the Tongan cheerleaders are not the most attractive ones I've ever seen.
Well, he's certainly made an impact, this man. He goes straight and he goes hard and he goes pretty quick as well. That did go forward, actually. Martin Williams was absolutely right. But you just got to get on with it, especially when you're a couple of yards from your line.
Not that surprised to see Vaki playing so well in the Luciano, this fella, because he scored 9 tries in the 2002 Commonwealth Games sevens, where Tonga reached the bowl final where they lost to Scotland. So he's a runner. Yeah, that's not a bad scrum. Well, it's rumbled now.
Hands off.
But they're still going to get the ball, I think, here. Yeah, it's a penalty.
Penalty white.
I think they should try this quick Channel 1 ball if they go for the scrummage. Maybe they go to the corner this time. Try something a little bit different. Now they want the scrum again.
Stay bound.
3 penalties in a row for Wales, against Wales, and under normal circumstances that means yellow cards come out. As we look at Jim Love, the Tongan coach, I'll tell you what, they're fighting to the end, Tonga. He's going to be pleased with their attitude on that front. But this is taking up time now. You know, gone 77 minutes. And Steve Hansen, there talking into his microphone, will a lot of upsides tonight. They've done a lot of things very well, but against Red again.
Martins takes it quickly. Fanua, great tackle by Mark Jones. That was a try-saving tackle by the winger. They can sniff the white line now, and it's going to be a try, surely, for Tonga. Well, the referee has given it, yes, and it's Himani Lavaka, the eastern suburb tight head, who gets the try and brings Tonga to within 7 points. And there are a couple of minutes to go. Conversion to come. Late try from Tonga. Dare we think about it?
God forbid. God forbid that we have to think about it. But Holla has got a chance to make this a pretty frantic last few minutes, and I have a certain feeling that a certain great Welsh winger in the studio in London is not enjoying this too much. And he had a drop goal attempt to try and save some time, did Holla, which was not the smartest thing to do. But there we are.
Well, the Tongans may achieve one goal, which is to pick up a bonus point for finishing within 7 points. But Holla has missed 3 kicks in a row now, and they've been absolutely crucial to his side's chances of winning this match.
To be fair, Stephen Jones has missed a couple as well, so that's balanced itself out to a large degree.
Stephen Jones with the restart. Underneath it is Nafahu. Martins. Holla. Close to a charge down. Did very well indeed to find such a gargantuan touch there. That was more like it.
Well, somehow they've got to regain possession, Tonga. Important line out this for Wales. They can't afford to lose it. Hugh Bennett just on the field. Replacement hooker.
If Wales do hang on and win this, what will Steve Hansen's reaction be to this performance, do you think?
I think it'll be very much, we've got the points, let's move out of town. It wasn't epic by any stretch of the imagination, but we took our chances well, and we finished off some good moves. But there'll be certain aspects of it that leave a lot to be desired, especially the concentration levels, and allowing not a couple of soft tries, but certainly one was very soft.
Bayanaka took it well under a lot of pressure from Mark Jones, and then made it superbly available to Fanua. Here's Salilo Martin to his place, and he's got support, and they've got big runners here. Holla, he should have used it wide, you would have thought. Vaki in support. 10 metres outside the Welsh 22, into injury time. Converted try would tie things up for the Tongans. Wayanaku comes into the line from fullback, and a very, very relieving hack away from a Welsh boot. But here they come again, and this time it's Tuafua. And they get a penalty. They've taken it quickly, and that's the replacement hooker to a Kappa, and you would have thought the idea there would have been to thump it down into the corner and get a line out close to the Welsh line. Here goes Holla. Martin Williams with a tackle, but he's missed him. Bayanuka, that's the 22. What a finish by the Tongans here. Salilo Martins, Fanua. Well, the man outside him was Hufanga, who almost scored that try in the first half. And there goes the final whistle. Chris Wyatt shakes his head, and it is tremendous relief all around this Welsh camp. The Tongans, some of them flat on their back in the middle of the pitch there. They know they've missed an opportunity to record what would have been one of the great wins in their history against this Welsh side. But Wales have managed to survive intact in this game. They've won by 27 points to 20. And they move on to what will be, we think, the crunch game in terms of quarter-final qualification. That comes up against the Italians.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Jamie. Well, the Welsh put 50 points on the Tongans a couple of years ago. They were hanging on there at the end, alongside me, Scott Hastings, and a very worried Ian Evans. Their verdict coming right up.